Welcome, everyone. I'm Dr. Alan Partridge, and I'm here to connect some critical dots for you. Mike Buoy just walked us through the foundations of structured authoring. Now I want to show you exactly how that foundation becomes the launchpad for something much more powerful. Truly personalized, extensible learning experiences that drive real business outcomes. Here's the reality check. Most organizations are drowning in content chaos. SKF discovered this firsthand when they needed to train 44,000 employees across 108 locations worldwide. They had scattered training materials, manual personalization that couldn't scale, and learners who couldn't find what they needed when they needed it. That 43% statistic isn't just a number. It represents millions of frustrated learners and billions lost in productivity. But structured content changes everything. SKF replaced Cornerstone On Demand with Adobe Learning Manager specifically because structured content enabled them to deliver personalized training to both blue-collar and white-collar workforces from the same foundation. Today, we're going to explore 3 game-changing capabilities that structured content unlocks. First, personalization that actually works at scale. Second, extensibility that connects your learning to your entire business ecosystem. And third, branding consistency that makes learning feel like a seamless part of your customer and employee experience. Let's dive in. Personalization has become a buzzword, but real personalization requires semantic understanding of content. IBM learned this the hard way. They had 16 different learning platforms, each trying to serve different audiences with different experiences. When they consolidated to Adobe Learning Manager, structured content became the key to delivering personalized experiences to 350,000 internal users, 910,000 external partners, and 3.8 million CSR users. All from the same content foundation. When your content is properly structured, the AI can understand not just what content exists, but what it means and how it connects and who needs it when. This isn't just filtering, it's intelligent orchestration. A huge pillar for production at scale is ensuring content is being tackled properly. Enterprise needs for content is increasing at a sometimes literally exponential pace, and that need is not going away. Personalization and localization, multi-channel, multi-format delivery, just-in-time content, all demand rapid throughput and coordination on tighter deadlines. Technological innovation and digital adoption have accelerated, forcing enterprises to meet consumers where they are, across more channels, markets, and screens. And consumers expect experiences to be relevant, connected, and personalized. But creatives and marketers struggle to keep up. Creative teams and workflows are fragmented and siloed, making it difficult to scale their effort. And budgets and resources are flat, even though greater demands are being placed on these teams. These conditions amplify the challenges that we are already familiar with. The pressure to create more content puts strain on our organization's internal processes. Learning Manager uses AI to understand a search query and show relevant results instead of just doing a phrase match. Adobe Learning Manager Search additionally tries to understand the meaning of the query. Think about this from a peer-driven perspective. It uses a range of quality parameters to show the users the relevant results all the time. Learners do not get lost in irrelevant results. And it's comprehensive. Searches the entire library, the courses, the tags, and even searches through the content in the individual courses. Everything, videos, audio files, PDF files, all are converted to text transcripts, which then become searched. The users always find what they were looking for. Adobe Learning Manager Search is industry-leading. It uses a proprietary weighted combination of traditional search techniques, phrase matching, and advanced semantic understanding of the query to drive those search results. In terms of query understanding, it uses sophisticated AI, natural language processing techniques, to understand the search query, mark the important keywords, and logically expand the other phrases from the searched query. In terms of its comprehensive omnisearch capacity, unlike other learning platforms, Learning Manager does not just it does not just search the initial phrases or the names of courses and the immediate metadata. No, it does omnisearch. It searches the entire library, including content, third-party course titles, descriptions, tags, personalized notes, and other metadata. For content like video and PDF, it automatically transcribes and searches within the transcript. When you upload that new content into Adobe Learning Manager, within 24 hours, it has created those transcripts of those unusual sources like PDFs and video and audio files. It uses an AI algorithm with 50 million data points to score content based on user feedback, recency ratings, completion rates of the courses, and other interactions. And then finally, the phrase search. In addition, we have semantic in a proprietary weighted score. So results are ranked with AI-trained models that specifically understand why someone might be entering the phrase that they're entering. In most platforms, the search feature focuses on the term getting started in a scenario like this one. So we see here Lois, who's saying, I want to know how to speak with confidence. Do we have any courses in the LMS that can help? And you can see that Learning Manager differs because in Learning Manager, the named entity Photoshop is prioritized over other supporting words. And that's any named entity that you define inside of your instance of Learning Manager. Likewise, when we look at something like what Greg's doing here, Greg's trying to find more stuff on Photoshop, but every time he searches for Photoshop fundamentals, he hits upon all kinds of irrelevant results in a typical search engine. In most platforms, those search features focus on the term getting started and show a range of irrelevant results that would be getting started with anything from cooking to you name it. In Learning Manager, the named entity is prioritized over other supporting words, and results are shown accordingly. So, wanting to know more about customer service, for example, the system would automatically search for something like customer service foundations, etc., as an ancillary to that prompt. Learning Manager understands the intent behind the search and focus of the term, customer service, which is the important keyword here, and expands foundation to semantically similar phrases to show a range of results based on relevance, recency, popularity, and so on. But search is just the beginning. Here's how that structured content extends across your entire ecosystem. Structured content doesn't just enable better learning. It enables learning to become part of your entire business ecosystem. Publicis Group proved this when they created their IQ Academy, using Adobe Learning Manager as a headless platform. They needed to train 103,000 employees across 100+ global offices on programmatic advertising. Instead of building another isolated learning portal, they embedded structured learning content directly into their business systems. Adobe Learning Manager's headless architecture means your structured content can power portals marketing automation, sales enablement, and employee experiences simultaneously. One way to visualize this is to imagine Adobe Learning Manager is at the center, connected to AEM Sites, Marketo Engage, and Adobe Commerce. Creative Cloud, Adobe Captivate, and AI tools like Firefly and Sensei surround it all. Connections easily made to your enterprise applications, things like Microsoft Teams or Salesforce, and so many more. All right, so let's take a look at Adobe Learning Manager live in action now to understand how that search functionality can make a huge difference. Here I am looking at Adobe Learning Manager from the perspective of a learner. I'm going to just type in entropy because I think entropy is a name that wouldn't be that common in titles and descriptions like that. You can see here there is a course called Entropy and Cross-Entropy Loss, but here we suddenly get to one called Probability and Statistics, the Foundation of Machine Learning. I don't see entropy anywhere, in fact, here in this description. I'm going to go ahead and click on that and look. Now here's the metadata, the long-form description of the course, and I'll just hit Control F to search for entropy. And you can see there are 0 occurrences of the word entropy inside of this page at all. So how then did it decide to put us in the entropy course? Well, the answer is here in this PDF file. The PDF file actually contains the entropy, and that's where we would find it. We can go into the course itself, and then inside the course, somewhere here, we should expect it to find entropy. And I'll just go ahead and do a quick search, and you can see there's 0 of 4. There are 4 occurrences of entropy inside of the PDF itself. And I can locate those, find them, search them, discover exactly what about entropy is in this course. And that makes the experience considerably better for us, right? Now let's switch gears and talk about branding. Most platforms think branding means changing colors and adding logos, but enterprise branding is about experience consistency. Amazon proved this brilliantly with their Flex app integration. They needed to train 2.6 million truck drivers who aren't employees. They're independent gig workers. These drivers were already using the Amazon Flex app to manage schedules and interact with the company. Instead of forcing them into a separate learning portal, Amazon used Adobe Learning Manager's headless architecture to embed interactive training directly into the Flex app experience. When your content is structured properly, you can deliver learning that feels native to every touch point, whether that's a customer portal, partner training site, or employee development program. This modern approach to branding is what we see across these 3 modern business examples: Microsoft's Expert Zone, JLG's University, and NVIDIA's Knowledge Center. All 3, in fact, are Adobe Learning Manager implementations, but you can see they all have completely different aesthetics. NVIDIA's Knowledge Center training retail partners on GPU technology. Microsoft's Expert Zone, well, they're mobile-first vertical video stories for sales professionals are really the kind of hallmark of their deliverables. And you can see that they leverage the universal system, but they actually call out their experiences in these vertically formatted experiences for learners to participate. And they end up with this kind of experience. They can embed video, they can embed audio, they can embed all the various forms of educational information and deliver it in the format that makes sense. Conversely, if we look at an example like JLG University, this organization is training people in everything from information about their products to information about how to use their large, heavy equipment kinds of solutions and services, even training trainers. to be able to go forward and train additional material. So each one has a different kind of focus, a different kind of experience, but all of them have achieved these really deeply branded productive solutions. You can really see it from NVIDIA's gaming-focused dark aesthetic to Microsoft's achievement-driven blue branding to JLG's industrial orange safety focus. Yet all three share the same Adobe Learning Manager foundation, same structured content architecture, completely different brand experiences, tailored to each audience's context and consumption patterns. Structured content plus headless delivery equals radical personalization across every touch point. These aren't just cool features. They drive measurable business outcomes. NVIDIA saw an 80 times increase in channel sales. Adobe partners are generating 20% more revenue. Tavant went from 11% to 100% compliance completion. This is what happens when structured content enables truly personalized, extensible learning experiences. Here's how it all works together. Structured content creates the semantic foundation. AI-powered search, trained on 50 million data points, understands intent and context. Headless architecture enables delivery anywhere, and comprehensive APIs make integration seamless. This architecture is why Adobe Learning Manager can deliver on the personalization and extensibility promise. Here's the thing about transformation. You do not need a 2-year strategy and a team of consultants to get started. IBM didn't wake up one day and rebuild 16 platforms. They started with one annoying problem. Partner training was scattered everywhere, and nobody could find anything. Your rebellion starts small. First, pick one content mess that bugs you daily. Maybe it's the same safety video uploaded to 5 different places, or product specs that live in 3 formats. You already know what's broken. You don't need a 6-month audit to prove it. Second, find one bridge, your easiest integration win. Maybe it's getting course completions to show up in your CRM, or letting people access training without another login. Start where the pain is obvious and fix is visible. Third, brand where it matters most. Pick your most important touch point, the one experience that defines how people see your organization. Make that one sing with perfect consistency. You have the power to determine how deep these studies go. Start with what you can control, prove the value, then expand. That's how you build constellations, one bright star at a time. Let's crystallize the key insights. Structured content isn't just about organization. It's about creating semantic understanding that powers AI. Personalization isn't about filtering. It's about intelligent content orchestration. Extensibility isn't about add-ons. It's about making learning a native part of your business ecosystem. And branding isn't about logos. It's about consistent experiences that feel natural everywhere that they appear. Here's the bigger picture. When you get structured content right, learning stops being a cost center and becomes a strategic business infrastructure. IBM serves over 5 million users across employees, partners, customers, and CSR programs. Amazon reaches 2.6 million gig workers seamlessly through mobile integration. Publicis trains 103,000 employees globally through their branded IQ Academy. Customer success improves, revenue grows, employees develop faster, operations become more efficient. Partners perform better, markets expand. This is what happens when learning becomes truly connected to business outcomes through the power of structured content. Thank you so much for your time and attention. Remember, structured content isn't just about better organization. It's about unlocking personalized, extensible learning experiences that drive real business outcomes. We're not just connecting dots, we're creating the constellation that guides every learner's journey. Before I hand this back to our Data World captains, let me get a little sentimental for a moment. Over these 3 days, you've proven something I've always believed. The best learning happens when curious rebels get together and start connecting dots. You didn't just sit through presentations, you leaned in, pushed back, and made every speaker better. From structured authoring to semantic search, from AI-assisted creation to headless architectures, your curiosity has been the real engine driving this conversation forward. That's what makes this community special. We're not just managing content, we're architecting the future of how humans learn. So thank you for geeking out with us, challenging conventional wisdom, and for proving that the most important technology isn't the AI, it's the human intelligence that knows how to use it wisely. Now, time to stick the landing. Stefan and Matt, the constellation is complete, but the journey's just beginning. Take us home.